It's a self-destructive mechanism. And meanwhile, what are we finding out recently here? Central banks hoarding gold, hoarding it at a faster pace than they have ever. We have hedge funds, investment banks hoarding gold. The richest people on this planet hoarding gold, more so than we've ever seen before. What do they know that we're not allowed to know? We're not supposed to know. Well, people who follow our work are well versed in what's going on here, why they're doing what they're doing here, betting against the system here. Central banks are betting against the system that they're forcing us to participate in by buying gold here. It's exactly what you and I have been telling people since forever. You and I have been bet out here for a very long time.
Gregory Mannarino argues that the current economic landscape is the direct result of intentional actions by central banks and global leaders who have systematically manipulated financial systems for their benefit, leaving ordinary people, particularly those with pensions, increasingly vulnerable. For years, these powerful entities have suppressed interest rates to create an illusion of stability and economic growth, but this strategy has come at a steep price. By keeping rates artificially low, they have effectively robbed savers and pension funds of trillions in potential earnings, as returns on traditional investments remain at historic lows. Gregory argues that this isn't just a simple mistake. It's a deliberate strategy designed to blow up global debt to dangerous levels, creating a fake sense of prosperity that doesn't match the real economy. By keeping interest rates low, there's an incentive for people and businesses to borrow and spend recklessly. This leads to inflated stock prices and real estate values, but a shaky mountain of debt supports all of this. Since the 2008 financial crisis, the system has been propped up by a massive infusion of debt and credit, similar to a short-lived, unsustainable high. Recently, central banks have also intensified their accumulation of gold, despite cooling reported demand, as gold prices hit record highs. July alone saw a 206% month-over-month increase in central bank gold purchases, adding a net 37 tons to official reserves, the highest since January's 45 tons. This aggressive gold acquisition signals that while central banks inflate markets with cheap money, they are hedging against the collapse of the system they've engineered. As they hoard tangible assets like gold, central banks and the ultra-wealthy are positioning themselves to weather the inevitable market correction or even a debt market meltdown, while small businesses and the average individual are left exposed to an economy built on distortions, devoid of real market dynamics. Please tune in for our exploration of Gregory Mannarino's expert analysis. Don't miss out on future content. Hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay in the loop. We appreciate your support.
The mechanism is very, very simple. And I've been trying to tell people this for I don't know how long. Okay, the mechanism of artificially suppressed rates, okay, has robbed these pension plans and people themselves of trillions, literally trillions of dollars in realized gains. It's grand theft on an unimaginable scale. And it's a mechanism here to bring the entire system down with it and bring the people down with it as well. This is the mechanism behind what we're seeing here collectively by central banks in their quest, in their mission, which has been incredibly successful, to destroy, deconstruct the current system by fostering an illusion of prosperity, by inflating the stock market on the back of that. Global debt ballooning like we've never seen. I mean, since the 2008 moment where the system actually died. It was dead then. It died then. This is nothing but a drug-induced high, drug in the form of debt, credit, however you want to look at it, that has propped up the system artificially. And it's not sustainable. The fact of the matter is the system is bankrupt from every angle that you want to look at. Not only is it bankrupt, it's negative bankrupt by exponents. And the system, unfortunately, via this mechanism here and world leaders colluding with their central banks to foster this global debt expansion, is directly responsible for what's happening to people's pension plans and the trillions of dollars that they've been robbed of via this mechanism of suppressed rates here. It's not just a matter of a correction. It's a matter of the debt market's going to melt down. And it's being so hyperinflated right now again. And it's a vicious cycle. The more debt they issue, the more they must issue in the form of currency and whatever else here, because it just demands more of it as we move forward. It's a self-destructive mechanism. And meanwhile, what are we finding out recently here? Central banks hoarding gold, hoarding it at a faster pace than they have ever. We have hedge funds, investment banks hoarding gold. The richest people on this planet hoarding gold, more so than we've ever seen before. What do they know that we're not allowed to know? We're not supposed to know. Well, you people who follow our work are well versed in what's going on here, why they're doing what they're doing here, betting against the system here. Central banks are betting against the system that they're forcing us to participate in by buying gold here. It's exactly what you and I have been telling people since forever. You and I have been out here for a very long time. And honestly, the people that follow our work have benefited greatly from that. I really hope that this grows and people who follow our work share this kind of stuff. You're not going to find out this information from anywhere else. But the mechanism here is and then you got the blame game here. Presidents don't have money printers. Okay, they have no. Inflation is a side effect of monetary policy, which is implemented by central banks.
With inflation under control and the job market softening, Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell signaled on Friday that the Fed is poised to start cutting its key interest rate, which currently stands at a 23-year high. At the same time, Powell did not specify when the rate cuts would commence, or their magnitude and expectations pointed to a modest quarter-point reduction during the Fed's mid-September meeting. In parallel, Gregory sees that central banks employ emergency monetary measures such as quantitative easing, which involves creating money to purchase debt. In the US, the Federal Reserve has quietly influenced rates to drive down mortgage costs, although this has yet to be officially acknowledged. This covert rate suppression contributes to mortgage rates approaching a 2-year low, generating confusion about the Fed's actual policy stance. Globally, rising tensions and conflicts add another layer of complexity to an already strained financial system. The current debt-driven model is proving increasingly unsustainable, setting the stage for potential bank runs and systemic failures. As the system continues its precarious balancing act, the likelihood of a significant shift to a new financial paradigm grows, potentially placing many individuals in difficult circumstances as traditional structures give way.
Well, specifically, I think I'm looking at what central banks are doing right now. It's an interesting paradox here. So, and then look, I urge people to always do their own research into this. Don't take my word for anything I say always. But what we're seeing here is a phenomenon that I don't think shocks anyone or is surprising. But we have the current environment is as such. We have a contracting global economy, contracting extremely rapidly. Meanwhile, we got central banks collectively ballooning the global money supply. Now, this is a vicious cycle. The more currency that is issued by a central bank, the more it loses value. So with that said, it should not be a surprise that we're seeing what we're seeing right now is central banks flooding the world with more currency, which is, of course, their goal, their end game, to inflate. This is their single power. I think most people who follow our work understands that. At least I hope they do. Now we have this new phase, which, well, it's actually it already started. There are already several central banks around the world involved in emergency monetary policy, quantitative easing here, creating cash out of nothing, getting into the debt market and buying the debt. The Fed is doing this right now, although they haven't made the announcement. It's kind of astonishing. We have rates here in the United States plummeting, mortgage rates at almost a 2-year low. But the Fed's not cutting rates. You know they're not cutting rates because they haven't made the announcement yet. It's incredible. People have become so, I have to say this, dumbed down that they have to be told things like infantile entities. The Fed is obviously in here buying all the debt, suppressing rates here. This is bleeding off, suppressing yields, which is bleeding off and causing rates to fall. They're going to make this announcement this month here. This is the first trading week of this new month here into September. And, it's just not going to stop. We're going to see, what did we witness over the weekend? Like more war, expanding war, more death, more pain, more suffering. This is part of the mechanism here. I don't know what they're going to throw at us, but it's going to entail a lot more debt expansion here. Moving into 2025, and I've been telling people this for a very long time, it looks like things are going to change rapidly. The system is not sustainable. It's period, the end. Bank runs are inevitable. a series of closures are inevitable. A lot of stuff is being hidden from the public here. The system is insolvent. It's bankrupt, operates in a perpetual vacuum. And the only mechanism here to keep the illusion real is by, of course, pumping more debt into the system, leading us to a grand finale, a climax, which is going to be designed to bring people to their knees so they can issue in the new system.
Given the current trends of low interest rates and aggressive gold buying by central banks, we can anticipate a major financial correction ahead. A significant market adjustment is likely as debt levels continue to soar and asset prices remain inflated. This could expose vulnerabilities in the economy, impacting small businesses and everyday individuals, while those holding tangible assets like gold may be better equipped to handle the fallout. Share your thoughts on Gregory's prediction in the comments section below. Also, ensure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications for more videos like this. Until next time.